There is no video. Why are you still here? It's just a black screen. Why do you find this so interesting? Nothing happens here. Go on, scram. Still here? Curious little creature, aren't you? You know what? While you're still here, why don't I tell you a story? A story that told me not to read it in the first place. You must be really interested, huh? Why don't you hit that like button and subscribe then? Trust me, it gets far more interesting if you do. Done? Thanks for that. Now, let me tell you a story. We all have our own little bubble. A bubble we often don't want to leave because when we do, we have no idea what the other side looks like and how it's going to treat us. Despite this, there are those who feel suffocated. They feel like they're trapped and they crave the outside. So they leave. But there are those who like it inside. They feel safe and comfortable. Even if it gets lonely, they stay. So they stay there for the rest of their lives. Don't Read This by I Drink Mercury on Webtoon plays around with this psychological seesaw, exploring the art and sorrow of solitude. Are you an anxious introvert who finds comfort in the familiar and in being alone? Or are you a curious extrovert who likes adopting the anxious introvert and pushes them to go on adventures? Either way, this story has the power to grip anyone and suck them into its black and white world. I honestly believe that this is a story to best go in blind, not knowing anything about it. So if you're still here, don't say I didn't warn you of spoilers. It's dark. There's absolutely nothing there. You would think your phone wasn't loading the pages because upon opening the first episode, there's really nothing there. Until you scroll down to the very bottom, you're greeted with this white cartoonish being. It almost looks like an all-white CJ7 with only 2 legs. It asks you, why? It asks you again and again across the next 5 episodes. It tells you to leave, saying there's nothing there for you to do. It's desperate for you to leave it alone. It's not until the 7th episode that it finally tells you what's going on. When you asked about its name, it said it doesn't have one because it doesn't want to be acknowledged by others. When asked about what it's doing there, he replied with, nothing. When asked about what this place is, it's nothingness, an endless abyss. And finally, when asked about why its answer to everything is nothing, it said, because it's comfortable. It sees the endless abyss of nothingness as a safe space, because to this being, the opposite of nothing is existence. And this little white creature is terrified of that. I can tell you right now, this isn't like your average Webtoon comic. Yes, there are already plenty of manga and manhwa out there that break the fourth wall, where the characters actually talk to the readers. It isn't new, but the way it's done in Don't Read This ropes you in. The only character you see right now actively talks to you, making you feel like you're actually a character yourself here. And this isn't just some cheap gimmick. The small, shy being who was persistent on you leaving created you. Its subconscious made you so that it wouldn't feel lonely in the never-ending abyss. It even calls you a figment of its imagination. But even if that's the case, you seem alive with your own free will. And in that same episode, you're led to a door and you exercise that free will to leave the nothingness, going into the world of existence, the outside. You step out, leaving your creator behind you. The black turns to white. The sun, clouds, and trees greet you. You're outside. You're in existence. But you go back. Eventually, you convince it to conquer its fears and step out with you the second time around. Finally, the story begins to unfold. At the time of writing this script, 27 episodes are available to be read online. The story has managed to open a plethora of doors for theorizing and world building, all with just one legitimate character and 27 episodes. It's already gripping and interesting. It keeps readers on their toes, especially those with a crippling fear of the unknown. With so little to go off of, it already got me interested, and it hasn't even shown any horrifying aspects yet. Oh, did I forget to mention that this was under the horror genre? Because this is a newly released webtoon, it's quite unclear if this is considered horror because of the psychological aspects of it, or because it could legitimately get creepy. We see our little buddy trying its best to cope with its crippling anxiety and crushing fear of the things outside of the nothingness. A perfect example of this is when we witness it freak out and lose it as soon as it realizes it doesn't have any arms to reach out for an apple it so wants to eat. It starts calm and wholesome as we get to see our once petrified friend go out and explore the world of existence. But as if a switch was flicked, we're suddenly reminded why it so badly wanted to stay in the nothingness in the first place. Its eyes get smaller, then freakishly wide and messily drawn. Its body gets blurry and slightly deformed, the same way a stress ball looks when you squeeze it too hard. The background suddenly gets louder and more chaotic. The text is big and in your face on one page, then fuzzy and smeared all over the next. Then it's exhausted, faints out cold. It wakes up in the next episode, completely unaware of what just happened. Its mind wiped clean of the panic attack it just had, entirely forgetting it. That whole sequence lives in my brain rent-free. It's so simple, yet artistically done in a way that is perfect for this world the author created. It's eerie and messy, capturing what it feels like to be internally eaten by your most anxious thoughts and fears. This is where we finally get a small glimpse of the terrifying things we can expect from this webtoon comic. Intrigued by what you're seeing so far? Let us know in the comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell while you're at it. And if you're interested in hearing my personal thoughts on this webtoon, stick around until the end of the video. Reading through Don't Read This has thrown me back to the days when I wanted nothing more but to stay inside my bubble where I know I wouldn't get hurt by anything and anyone. Back then, I believed that challenges were always meant to be a high-risk, low-reward type of thing. I was satisfied with my nothingness. And you'd be lying to yourself if there wasn't a phase in your life where you just wanted nothing to do with the things you couldn't control, where you felt safe in your own nothingness. That is why I think the beginning of this story is something we could all feel close to home, why we want to root for this little pale creature as it conquers its fear of existence. Whether this comic takes a hard left turn and doesn't turn out the way we thought it would be, or it continues on its upward incline of creepy and intriguing, making it a new and noteworthy addition to the horror genre, either way, this is a fresh concept that we haven't seen in a while that deserves some eyes. And that's it. If you want more recommendations on what to read or watch, visit our channel and check out our other videos. We publish new videos every week, so if you like what you see, hit the subscribe button and notification bell. If you have any requests, leave them in the comments down below. We would love to know your thoughts, and we'll see you in the next one.